like to formally give a strong Céad Míle Fáilte to Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and just want to say that the Prime Minister is here today as part of the ongoing consolidation of the peace agreement reached last week, just a few days ago, and I just want to formally wish himself and all of those participating in these current discussions to continue building the momentum on the agreement reached, and let's take our society forward. So over to yourself, Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thanks, Alex. It's great to be here, and I think it's a very good day for Northern Ireland and for the people of Northern Ireland. I've had good discussions already today, both with First Minister Arlene and Deputy First Minister Michel, about their plans, also with the executive about how they see things for the immediate future and then the long-term future. And I just want to say how grateful I am to all the parties, everybody here in Northern Ireland, for the way they have compromised, the way they have worked together to get Stormont up and running again. And it's shown a willingness to trust each other and to set aside differences that I think is absolutely commendable and wonderful to see. And I also want, by the way, to pay tribute to my friend Sosny, as he's called, the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, Julian, who seems to have vanished. He also, along with many others, worked very hard for this moment. And now is the chance for the government, the executive, the Assembly of Northern Ireland to deliver for the people of Northern Ireland and to deliver on the priorities of the people. And that is, above all, improving people's healthcare, making sure that we have fantastic schools and making sure that our streets are safe. And I was able to tell the executive a little bit about our priorities as a UK, as a United Kingdom government, investing record sums, as you know, in health, putting huge amounts into education and crime fighting as well. And of course there was a certain amount of, as you can imagine, a certain amount of conversation about funding and were we going to be supportive. And yes, of course we're going to be supportive. But the point I want to make is that it's not just about money. It's about leadership. And what's so great about today is, as I say, that Northern Ireland politicians have put aside their differences, stepped up to the plate and shown leadership. And that is a fine thing and the right thing. And they will be able now to develop what is a very, very promising set of circumstances for Northern Ireland and for its people. Because this is the whole, the region of the United Kingdom that attracts the most inward investment, the most tech investment, the huge growth in the tech sector here in Northern Ireland, unemployment at record lows. It's a place of fantastic potential. And I want to make it absolutely clear that we in the UK government will now work with this revived government in Northern Ireland to ensure that we deliver on that potential through better infrastructure, and I heard some wonderful schemes discussed today, better education and, of course, technology, and using those three things to bring our whole United Kingdom together so that all four nations of the UK, above all, and Northern Ireland, benefit from the prosperity and the growth that we intend to deliver. So it's a good moment. I'm very, very pleased to see the progress that has been made, a great moment. And never mind the hand of history on my shoulder. I see the hand of history. No, I see the hand of the future. I see the hand of the future beckoning us all forward. And I hope that with goodwill and compromise and hard work on all sides, it will be a very bright future indeed. Now, I've got to ask some questions, and I've got a list of people. Hang on. Mark Davenport, BBC Northern Ireland. Where are you, Mark? There you go. Well, Mark, as I was saying just now, we are in the UK government making huge commitments, which will be passed through, obviously, in Barnett consequentials to Northern Ireland in healthcare. I've heard the arguments made to me this morning by Robin, by Conor, by Ali. Everybody made roughly the same point that you've made to me just now. We're listening very carefully, and we will certainly do everything we can to support. But it's about leadership. It's about getting the public the services that they need, particularly in healthcare, because we all know what's been happening. It hasn't been very easy over the past few years for the people of Northern Ireland, but it's a moment of hope because they now have politicians who are going to make themselves accountable for the improvements that people want to see. Tracy McGee from UTV. Tracy.
Prime Minister, it's widely accepted that Secretary of State Julian Smith has played an integral role in getting this deal. Is his future here as Secretary of State assured? And for that matter, is the future of the Northern Ireland office assured?
Well, Tracy, all I can say is that I share completely your assessment of what Julian has done. I think he's done a great job, and he certainly has a bright future, as indeed I think does the Assembly and the Government and the Executive of Northern Ireland. And thanks to everybody who played a part in restoring Stormont, because I think there was a moment before Christmas when we were really worried whether it would happen. So a fair play to everybody. Sam McBride from the Belfast newsletter. Sam McBride.
Prime Minister, when this place fell, it was with the cash for ash scandal, and it has since been revealed.
So the cash for ash. Yes.
And part of that scandal involved a culture in this place among some politicians and among some civil servants that they viewed the Treasury as free money for Northern Ireland.
Yes.
They did not treat it with respect. What are you doing to protect the money that your voters who contribute are sending to this place? And secondly, you have given a commitment to the parties here in the city of Northern Ireland that there will be no new checks between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK after Brexit.
Yes.
Yet your own government's impact assessment says that is not correct. It says that there will be both import declarations and entry summary declarations because the UK will be applying to UCC in Northern Ireland. So which is it? Has it changed from that? And if not, how will you expand?
Yes. Well, first of all, on your point about the RHI, the cash for ash issue and public spending, it is vital. It's there in the New Approach, New Decade agreement. It is vital that public spending in Northern Ireland is properly invigilated, and that there's no repetition of that kind of thing, and there is provision for proper responsibility for the use of public funds in the new agreement. On your second point, which is one that obviously people raise an awful lot, be in no doubt, we are the government of the United Kingdom. I cannot see any circumstances whatever in which there would be any need for checks on goods going from Northern Ireland to GB. The only circumstances in which you could imagine the need for checks coming from GB to NI, as I've explained before, to Northern Ireland, is if those goods were going on into Ireland and we had not secured, which I hope and I'm confident we will, a zero tariff, zero quota agreement with our friends and partners in the EU. And furthermore, I would remind you that the arrangements that we have put in place under the Northern Ireland Protocol automatically evaporate after 4 years unless the Assembly of Northern Ireland, the Government of Northern Ireland, decides that they want to protract them. So there are plenty of protections for Northern Irish business, farmers and others. Ralph Hewitt from the Belfast Telegraph. Sir. Say again? Just a photo opportunity. A what? A publicity stunt. Well, I mean, I think that's a little bit harsh, I think, from the Belfast Telegraph, but I'm very, very happy to be here because I think it's very important for us in the UK government to show how strongly we not only approve of and appreciate the responsibilities that have been taken by politicians here in Northern Ireland, the leadership that is being shown on all sides here in Northern Ireland. It's also an opportunity for us to underscore how strongly we will support leaders here in Northern Ireland and how much work we will do to underpin the United Kingdom and to support our United Kingdom. Alison Morris from Irish News. Alison.
Prime Minister, the data includes provision to implement the Stormont House legacy arrangements within OpenAid.
Yes.
That includes an historical investigation team. Does that not contradict assurances that you have given to British Army veterans? And will you give victims the assurance that you will implement that arrangement?
Alison, yes, I think I got your question. Let me be clear that I think that the parties here who have revived Stormont have done a very good job of finding a balance between giving people who are in search of the truth the confidence that they need, but also in giving people who served our country in the armed services the confidence and certainty that they need. And we will certainly be going forward as a UK government with our manifesto commitment that you will recollect to ensure that there are no further unfair prosecutions for people who serve their country when there is no new evidence to be brought forward. And I think that is the right balance to be struck. Anyway, thank you all very, very much indeed for your patience, and I think I'll be seeing you all later on. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Las cámaras. Espera un momento.
Le camera.
Que hem d'aconseguir col·locar.
Come here. Yeah, I got my truck for you.
Hey, 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 hey.